Hello everybody, my name is Luke Marr and this is Hot Mode, and today on Hot Mode we are going to be talking about some of the most iconic fashion images in history. Fashion is an industry that's based on images, seeing as how images lend brands and artists the ability to create a fantasy to sell to consumers or would-be consumers. And with a wide array of photographers, artists, and other creatives working with hundreds of brands to create countless campaigns, editorials, and other imaging over at least the last half-century, some images have become iconic, and others have not. Some have fought social norms, and others have not. And some have set the new standard for what fashion is, and others have not. Before we get any further into the video though, I do want to thank our sponsor for this video, who is Skillshare, a great website where you can find online courses and learn from experts with over 25,000 classes available. Yeah, 25,000 classes to choose from for less than $10 a month. The first 500 of my subscribers, shout out to you guys, who use the link in the description will get a 2-month free trial of Skillshare. Pretty lit. Let's get back into the video though. The first image we're going to be talking about is the Stephen Meisel shot Vogue Italia editorial titled Water and Oil. The August 2010 issue of Vogue Italia featured 24 pages where model Kristen McMenemy that conjures disturbing images of injured or oil-doused animals, following the Deepwater Horizon spill. The Deepwater Horizon spill, for those that don't know, was a 2010 oil spill that was probably one of the worst in American history. The images are disturbing to say the least, and Stephen Meisel and the late great editor-in-chief of Vogue Italia, Franco Sozzani, intended for them to make viewers uncomfortable and to make them really think about what had happened. Oil drips from the fingertips of gloves, and dresses with trains resembling fishnets helps to draw the mind back to the oceans, which are polluted with an insane amount of plastics every year. Also, did you know that the more plastic in the ocean, the faster climate change affects us all? So like Hot Mode sponsored Ocean Cleanup Day, we should get on that. Kristen's body is rigid, lifeless, and looks stuck, like pelicans or otters that have been caught in oil slicks, who become bound together or to the ground by the oil that they're covered in. Think the part before the Dove ad campaign. The most disturbing image is probably of Kristen coughing up, I don't even know what, but honestly, like, you look at that image and you're like, oh shit, this isn't a fashion magazine? The image is really violent and scary and real, much like the pollution that is affecting the ocean and other natural environments in the world. And the world was shocked by these images, let me tell you, and I'm not just talking about the fashion world. Not just Michael Kors. There was public outrage about this editorial. People were like, how dare a fashion magazine who's so frivolous and awful comment on this big, awful issue. Refinery29 was one of the people that literally was like, ew, this is gross. And it's like, you know what, Refinery29, you're gross. But this shoot really showed that fashion image didn't just have to be pretty and glamorous and keep its viewers' head in the clouds. Instead, it showed that a fashion image could really say something, that it could take a stand, and that it could cause people to really look at the ugliness and violence of the world alongside looking at the beauty and glamour of it as well. Next, we're going to be talking about Le Smoking by Helmut Newton. Le Smoking by Helmut Newton is an iconic fashion image for the ages. You have probably all seen it because I've put it in multiple videos. It's an image that blurs the lines of gender and also helped to make Yves Saint Laurent one of the household fashion names that we know of today. Helmut Newton was a legendary photographer known for his ability to take photos of women in the nude without making them raunchy. So in 1975, when French Vogue contracted Helmut to shoot at night on a small street in the Parisian neighborhood of Le Marais, watch out French bitches, she's coming for ya. Helmut was thrilled. The model was to wear a very simple tuxedo suit. Well, it's a bit more complicated than a simple tuxedo suit. That simple tuxedo suit is actually Le Smoking suit, which was designed by Yves Saint Laurent for his autumn-winter 1966 collection. The suit was quite famous, as it had been worn by many famous females such as Catherine Deneuve, maybe I'm not coming for all of you French bitches. Liza Minnelli and Bianca Jagger, just to name a few. But that suit was also extremely controversial for its rugged masculinity and no-frills attitude. While yes, women had worn suits before in history, women had not worn suits that were so closely resembling a man's suit. The suit really caused outrage, and I'm pretty positive one person was actually kicked out of a restaurant in Paris for wearing it. So it was a pretty controversial suit, but Helmut Newton's photo made it even more controversial and more exciting. Essentially, he shot this model in this beautiful smoking suit by just the street lamps on that little Parisian alleyway. The androgynous model really showed us something new with her slicked back hair, sharp shoulders, no nipped in waist, and full pant leg realness. I mean, at a quick glance, you might just assume that that was a man in a suit. I also don't think it helped the normies when Helmut Newton put a nude, beautiful, wispy young woman clinging to the model for dear life while she was wearing nothing but a black stiletto, might I add. Again, like, it doesn't look raunchy, it looks real. It's sort of like a Renaissance painting, but photographed. And also, it pretty much made the smoking suit instantly iconic. It's an image that has been referenced hundreds upon thousands of times in fashion media and photography media as well. In reality, the outrage over a woman wearing a suit died years ago, but luckily this Helmut Newton image will probably never die. Next, we're going to be discussing the 1992 Donna Karan ad campaign titled "In Women We Trust." Now, I already know that some people are going to say, but this is a fashion channel. Can you stop being political? Like, sorry, fashion is political. It always has been, and it always will be, so shut up. Back to the image though, you might have heard "In Women We Trust" before, and you might have heard it from "In God We Trust," which is printed on the US dollar, I think, along with that pyramid with the eye. Weird. The shoot starred Rosemary McGrotha and was shot by Peter Lindburgh, who came up with this whole presidential political atmosphere for the shoot alongside Donna Karan, who was still at the company and its founder and creative director at the time. I would say the most powerful image from this editorial, and the one that we really are talking about, is the one where Rosemary has one hand on the Bible and the other raised like this. And if you don't know, that is actually the swearing of the oath, which is something that almost all, I'm pretty positive, all US presidents have done in order to become inaugurated as the president. The image must have caused a stir at the time because it was probably one of the first times a woman was ever shown publicly as being the president. But the campaign continues to show her taking serious-looking conference calls, and one of the best side-slit skirt suit that the imaginary Oval Office has ever seen. That shit is iconic. Another one that really courts controversy is Rosemary sitting JFK style in the back of a convertible during a parade where her blouse is open and part of her bra is exposed, and that, people, is my president. No, but really, these images now would be controversial. The images then, I can't even imagine. I'm pretty positive that those that were trying to get the ad campaigns advertised and actually picked up by magazines had to spin it in a very, like, conservative way so that people weren't really thinking, oh my god, this is crazy, feminism. If you guys didn't know, in 1992, women were still trying to figure out their roles in the working world. Shocking, I know. Women were still being treated strangely in offices, and there were whole new industries that women were only just pioneering. And I mean pioneering as in, like, they were just getting their foot in the door to get into the industries. And while the working woman was still trying to find out, like, okay, where do I belong? She was also trying to figure out, what am I supposed to wear? So Donna Karan, being the brilliant woman that she was, the Harvey Weinstein thing is still kind of touchy, but she essentially was creating clothing that was woman-friendly. It was sexy, but it was also professional, and it also kept a woman's comfort in mind. And I think that this campaign does an amazing job of Donna Karan promoting what she believed women could become and what women were capable of. And I also think that a lot of women wanted to buy into that. And they did, because Donna Karan was pretty poppin' back then. Now it's a sad Macy's brand, but hey, you win some, you lose some. All in all, considering that one of the first images of a woman becoming president was done by a fashion campaign, well, I have to say that's pretty iconic. Let's get into this final image that we're going to be talking about. And it's actually featuring somebody that we talk about not that often on this channel, and somebody that when we talk about her, it's not in that much of a positive light. And that woman, you might know her by her first 5 letters as Donna Versace. So yeah, Donatella Versace's Givenchy Autumn Winter 2015 ad campaign shot is iconic. And not even I can deny that. You know what? I'll be honest. I like Donatella. I like her face and lips and hair and cigarette fingers. I also really enjoy her funny voice. It makes me laugh and I really like it. And I also even enjoy the character that the media has created of her. The one thing I don't like is her creative direction for Versace. And it's nothing personal, it's just me talking shit about what people are wearing on the internet. So I can really appreciate this Givenchy ad campaign. And we all should, because Donatella was supporting a designer and a brand that she pretty much has nothing to do with. So Riccardo Tisci was the creative director of Givenchy for a few years. He used a lot of celebrities in his campaigns: Julia Roberts, Victor Cruz, Lee Yu-chun, just to name a few. But he had never used a famous fashion designer who was constantly steeped in controversy and was pretty much one of the main brand images of her multi-billion-dollar brand. Yeah, so essentially, if you guys didn't notice, Donatella Versace is one of the biggest factors of Versace's whole advertising, brand awareness, just brand image in general. I mean, like, if Donatella is not in an ad campaign, the girls look like her. If she is in a campaign, it's like a quick tidbit, but like, let's be real, she's there. I mean, she was even in the Migos Versace video, and she's an incredibly important part of the brand. She has pretty much been one of the creative forces driving the Versace brand after the passing of her brother Gianni. And while I wouldn't exactly say it's in the direction that I would take it, you know, I can't fault the bitch for trying. Think about it. It's really important that she lent her image, like her face, her body, her persona, to a different brand to help them sell their clothes, who are in direct competition with her own clothes. Versace and Givenchy are different, but they're similar. They're both done by an Italian designer who would have grown up with the same influences, who would have, you know, sort of designed in a similar manner. It's interesting that she really gave herself. And I will give the woman credit, because I don't think I've ever seen anybody look so sickening in Riccardo Tisci Givenchy tailoring. Like, she looks phenomenal. Phenomenal. But continuing on with why this image is so iconic, Donatella kind of proves that fashion people aren't snarky, snobby assholes. I don't know why you're all looking at me. Yeah, shockingly, fashion people aren't assholes. Like, in everyday life, I don't go around saying, oh my god, you look terrible, to people on the street randomly. I just don't say it out loud. But in all seriousness, Donatella really did show that fashion people are giving. Fashion people are people, and fashion people don't have the reputation of working in this catty, nasty industry that we're kind of all lumped into. Like, yes, we are bitchy and we want what we want, but you don't think the stock traders on Wall Street are bitchy and want what they want? Donatella even said in an interview with British Vogue, and I quote, "I believe in breaking rules. I want to get rid of the old system, work together, support each other, and make fashion a more global community." And while, you know, a bit too pleasant for me, aw, that's sweet. The image is iconic. It's something that is really unprecedented in fashion. And I mean, I don't know that many other creative directors that would get asked to be models in another brand's advertising campaign. Before we sign off, you can start learning new things at Skillshare. Only the first 500 people who sign up will receive the free 2-month trial with complete access to all of the courses. So you have no excuses not to sign up and learn more. What are we here for? Learning more. I personally love the painting with watercolors from inspiration to fashion illustration class. I can't draw at all, but I like watching other people draw. So what did I do for an hour? Watch other people draw, and it was super interesting and cool. And you can learn a lot more for free in those 2 whole months. You can fuel your creativity or learn more to better advance your career. And if you enjoy Skillshare, it's less than $10 a month after the 2-month free trial. What do you have to lose? You're already here. So with that, I am signing off. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I want to make this a really cool series that we can talk about because there are so many iconic fashion images, and they're just fun to really get into and learn about. I learned so much from doing this video, so thank you guys. I really appreciate that. Please let me know what your favorite fashion images or any that you want me to talk about in the next iconic fashion images video. And with that, I will see you guys on the next video, and TTYL.